So hello everyone. A little intimidating that the ministry is listening. I hope I got all my information from their website, so I'm gonna blame it on that if it's not exactly. Great, so I'm gonna share my screen for my presentation. And the question is, how do individuals and families come to Canada? So this is a complicated question and encompasses a lot of different ways to come to Canada and applications and pathways, essentially. So to the students, if you find this kind of overwhelming or confusing, that's kind of the point. It's really just to showcase that immigration isn't straightforward. It's not something that you know right away that you fit into any of these pathways. You have to do a lot of research, a lot of preparing forms, and struggle to figure out which one exactly is your best chance of being able to immigrate to Canada. So let's start with economic immigrants. So these are the immigrants that encompass the federal high skilled, the federal business, economic pilots such as caregivers, agri-food pilot, the rural and northern immigration pilot, the Atlantic Immigration Pilot Program as well. This is a pilot, but starting next year is now a permanent program. So that's why it's separated from these. The Provincial Nominee Program and the Quebec Skilled Workers in Business. So really to highlight here, the federal high skilled includes all the express entry programs, which is federal skilled worker, federal trade worker, etc. And you'll notice that after the federal programs, a lot of these are province-based. So the Atlantic Immigration or Provincial Nominee or Quebec. So this really showcases the difference between a federal immigration and a provincial immigration plan. So you can really see here that the provinces also can make their nominations and decide what type of workers that they want to come into their province. For a federal skilled worker, going back to the national, this is where you have your standard points-based system. So you meet the minimum requirements, which is your work experience, your language, and your education. After you meet these requirements, then you are scored based off of all of these factors: your age, your work experience, your education, do you have a job offer, the actual skills of your English and French, and your adaptability, how likely you are to settle there very efficiently. So the current pass is 67, and so you're scored on a point system. Just to showcase a little bit about how complicated it is in this federal high skilled, you have federal skilled worker, federal trade worker, and a Canadian experience class. So here's the eligibility for all of the three. You can see that there are slightly different language criteria, slightly different work experience criteria, job offers, education's a bit cut off at the bottom there. But you can see that then it can be sometimes difficult to see which one you would actually be able to apply through. So you go through lots and lots of different websites and forms to figure out, what exactly is my English level? Do I qualify for this one, this one, this one, or this one? What is my foreign experience level? What would my educational criteria be transferred as, etc. So this is what we talk about really when we're talking about economic immigration. Then we have family class. So this is when you bring somebody to Canada who is your spouse, a partner, a child, a parent, or a grandparent, and you basically sponsor them to come to Canada as you are a Canadian and you're bringing your family. So this can sound standard, but can actually be quite complicated. I, for example, am sponsoring my common law partner, and it took us a very long time to get all of the forms, do everything, all of the supporting documents. You have to prove your relationship. So this is where you have to, if it's a child, provide a birth certificate or a parent, so some legal documentation. And you can see here, this is a checklist for all of the forms that you have to do. It's very hard to see, so I wrote it down here on the right-hand side. You have to undertake an agreement, pay the fees. You need to do a financial evaluation, a generic application, a background declaration, and then submit all of your supporting documents. All the proof of your relationship, all the pictures, everything that shows that you are actually in a relationship with this person or they're actually a family member. And so it's about, when you mail it in, probably about that thick or more. And you compile all of this to be able to apply through the family class. Next, we have refugees and protected persons. So you had protected persons in Canada, resettled refugees. So this is government-assisted refugees, privately sponsored refugees, and blended visa office referred. And then you also have refugee claimants. So refugee claimants have a bit of a start to it because these are people that make a claim after entering Canada, which is very different from a resettled refugee who comes through a very entirely different stream. So we like to think of refugees, or we hear in the context of refugees, as just being this broad umbrella term, but there are actually quite a number of different pathways to come to Canada if you are considered a refugee. So a government-assisted refugee are refugees that are referred by international organizations like the UN who are a refugee, and then they give those nominations to the Government of Canada, and the Government of Canada brings them here. Privately sponsored refugees is pretty unique. Canada was the first country in the world to do this program. Now there are several, but they're still quite new. And this is where private citizens can make applications to sponsor refugees to come to Canada. And then the blended visa office referred is when you sponsor a refugee and it's half paid by the government and half paid by private citizens. And then claimants, again, are refugees who come into Canada and then make a claim. And then have to prove their refugee status and their claim and go through hearings. And then we have a humanitarian and compassionate pathway. So this is different from the refugee category. It's an application for permanent residence. So you are within Canada already. You're not eligible to apply through the other classes, and you have to prove that there's hardship if you return to your country of origin or another country. And these are very exceptional cases. So it is different. When I say humanitarian compassionate applications, people think refugee applications, but it's completely different. And lastly, I just wanted to mention a little bit of the numbers about who Canada welcomes. So if you look at the overall plan, the government releases a plan for how many they target or aim to achieve in a 3-year period. So again, this is not actually the numbers of who actually arrives. If you take 2020, for example, the plan said something totally different. Of course, with COVID and the travel restrictions, the numbers are not the same as the plan. But if you look, it gives you an idea of what are the numbers that the government is aiming for. Who are they planning to bring, and making all the processes and the policies for. So if you look at 2021 for next year, the target for total economic is 232,500. For family class, 103,500. Refugee and protected persons, 59,500, and then humanitarian compassionate, 5,500. So this gives you an idea of the makeup of the immigration levels that we are planning to bring in. I hope that was 3 minutes. I'm not sure, I wasn't timing myself, but thank you so much.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Maureen. That was great. Very comprehensive and far more detail than I can offer my students because I just don't know. So this was fantastic. Excellent. So then the next person that we can kind of hear their what they've prepared would be Olivier. If you're able, you're back, you're able to share with us.
Yeah, sure. Did you want to ask me the question to set it up, and then I'll just I was just planning to do a more general overview. And thank you for laying out all those numbers from our levels plan. That took a lot of work, but I'm glad people are paying attention to the specific details. So thank you. And we have full confidence that we're going to be able to do that. So yeah, if you want to just set me up, then I'll just ramble for a few minutes.
Sure, sounds great. So at this point, Olivier, I can read the bio that you provided me. So that's what I would do first. And then I would, again, introduce the question again. So our first question today is, how are global population trends and socioeconomic issues affecting Canadian communities? Thank you so much, Mr. Cullen.
Hi, good morning. And thank you for having me here. And, whether and when this goes out, today, as I was saying earlier, is a very special day. It's the 5-year anniversary of the first landing of the Syrian refugees that came through, and all in the last 5 years, Canada's welcomed 70,000 of them, and we continue to welcome new Syrian Canadian citizens every day, almost every day, and many are having tremendous impacts in their communities. But that's specific to today, and I think when we talk about immigration, geography isn't always the first topic that comes to mind. I originally thought you wanted to talk about my love of maps and things like that, but maps are interesting, and they reveal a lot more than maybe people give them credit for. Maps show movement of people. They show new civilizations throughout history. The movement of people around the world is certainly not anything new. And certainly for Canada, a country that was built through immigration and continues to be driven by immigration. The movement of people coming to Canada before even Confederation was for starting new lives, to put down roots, to really create this fabulous new country that we have today. And the reasons that people move around the world have changed. The fact that people have moved has not changed, but the reasons why people are moving has certainly changed. And we've even seen a tremendous shift over the last 8 or 9 months that we've been dealing with COVID. People often think of the humanitarian aspect of the compassionate reasons of refugees and vulnerable people. But immigration is so vast. People move for economic reasons, for jobs. People move because they're in vulnerable positions. We have tens of thousands of international students that choose Canada because we have such incredible post-secondary education here, and Canada provides those international students with a pathway to permanent residency after their studies and through their work. And even in the last few decades, there's been environmental reasons why people have moved around the world, and Canada is in a very fortunate position in that our makeup of this incredible country has always been to welcome people from all across the world. And we say it all the time, but diversity truly is our strength. And with the UNHCR reporting 80 million displaced people around the world, Canada steps up really more than any other country. We accept more refugees than anybody else, and have for the last few years, even more than our neighbors to the south. And that's a credit to who we are. And it doesn't just take the Department of Immigration and the thousands of people that work here. It takes people like the others on this panel, the settlement providers, the people who are welcoming them to the communities, the groups of individual private citizens that sponsor individual or families to come and support them for the first number of years that they're here and throughout their lives. And those people who come, in turn, then start giving back. And I know that there's people on this panel who have come as immigrants to Canada and who are now giving back to new immigrants. And that cycle is really quite sensational. So I think we should all be very proud of the country we live in. It's not necessarily the easiest in terms of our geography, the vastness of our land, but also the diversity of people. It takes effort. It takes strength. It takes positivity and optimism. And I know firsthand, I've seen them, I've met them. Immigrants come and give back there's a horrible misconception amongst some people, not a majority, but that immigrants come to take. And that is completely inaccurate. In fact, forget the statistic, but it's quite high. Thousands and thousands of businesses are run by immigrants who hire other people. Like, immigrants come and create, they come and give back. And we really need to ensure that that continues and ensure that we continue to build an even stronger and better Canada. And immigration is going to be a valuable and important piece of Canada's recovery from COVID. And if we're talking about today, this is over the next few years, we're going to see gaps in our labor force. We're going to see changes through our economy. And obviously, we need a rebuild, and immigration is going to be right there to support that. So the movement of people is nothing new. Immigration to Canada is nothing new. We've had to certainly adapt over the last few years, and I think we've done that, and we continue to adapt. I heard, when I took this job at the minister's office in February of 2020, I knew it was a challenging portfolio, but I had no idea what COVID was, and it has changed and forced the department to really look at new and innovative ways to bring in immigrants, and to look at the ways that we can welcome new Canadian citizens who are already here, who have been already here and working and giving back. And there are many, many thousands of them. So that's my opening. And thank you. And sorry for rambling a little bit, but I am just exceptionally proud of this country and what we've done, and all of us. And it truly takes an entire country to make it as special as it is.
No, that was fantastic. Thank you so much, Olivier. It was a great way to kind of start us off. And like I said, I'll send this recording just to our little group here, so you can listen to it back and, do what you'd like to tweak it for the next time. Thank you so much. Okay, so then moving right along in terms of the sequence, we already heard from Laureen, so then I would be switching over to question number 3. So let me just go back to our slideshow here. And Lamia, we're going to hear from you first. So you can unmute yourself. Sorry about that. And I will present the slides here. So I'll read the questions, and then you can give me, if you want to tell me next slide, then I can flip through the slides for you on my end, okay? We'll see if that works.
By the way, I prefer to introduce everybody when his or her turn starts. So you should, for example, introduce me right now. And this way, it's much better and accepted easily.
Yeah, sounds great. So I'll read your biographies before you begin speaking. That'll be great. Okay. So to remind us all, the third question is the Government of Canada's settlement and integration sector is responsible for the settlement program, which supports the integration of newcomers to Canada. As Mr. Cullen mentioned, there are so many organizations that are responsible for supporting newcomers when they arrive. So as organizations that serve newcomers, what are some programs and services that you provide? And what are the benefits and outcomes of these offerings?
So my name is Lamia Al-Ansari. I'm working as a program coordinator for mental health, refugee mental health and wellness. It's a program for professional frontline workers and settlement workers. Next, please. So the vision and mission of JFS is creating a safe environment where individuals can strive and reach their full potentials by creating the platform that allow them to integrate with the Canadian community. Let's leave this. And in general, JFS is offering a warm hand to the newcomers, to refugees, to make them their integration and resettlement in Canada as smooth and easy as possible. Next, please. So from the name Jewish Family Service, everybody come to his mind that it's serving only the Jewish community. No, in fact, about only 20% of the programs and services are for Jewish community, while 80% are serving all Canadians and newcomer refugees, Ottawa-wide, no catchment area, accepting all people in Ottawa. So it's about more than 65 programs are offered to all ages, since childhood till youth, till adults, groups, seniors, LGBT, couples, families, all of them. Next, please. So here we have, as you see in the last line, senior support, Jewish support, counseling groups, and settlement support. So JFS offering in these 4 categories or 4 groups. For Jewish support, it's funded by Jewish Board and specifically supporting the Jewish community. I will not discuss this. For others, would you please go to the next slide? For others, I will start with the settlement group. In settlement group, it's serving only newcomers, people without citizenship. Whenever you have the Canadian citizenship, you are not allowed to have these services. The services is varies and with many languages like Hebrew, English, French, Russian, Arabic, Somali, and Chinese. It's started since grade 1 or less, serving children, serving youth, serving families, groups, LGBT, as I said, for all Canadian, for all new immigrants to Canada. Next slide, please. So let's start with the first one, integration and adaptation. Here we have many settlement workers with many languages. They are helping newcomers, helping refugees, any people to apply for official documents like SIN number, like OHIP, child tax benefit, some subsidized programs with the government, immigrations issue, bank account, opening bank account, navigation, the family doctor, also other programs like Toys Mountain, like Christmas exchange, helping to them to find the school for their kids, to find the school for themselves. So we have a lot of services during this settlement unit. Another one, please, slide. There are some programs belonging to settlement unit. This is my program. It's the Syrian Refugee Mental Health Program for frontline workers. This program was created when the huge movement of Syrian arrived to Canada. Just now, Mr. Colleen mentioned that it's 5 years ago. The Syrian arrived in the end of 2015. Till the end of 2016, IRCC found that there is a huge misunderstanding or miscommunication between the frontline workers and the Syrian passing through a lot of challenges, struggles, war area. They are coming from war area to refugee camp till they reaching here. It's very bad journey till they reach Canada. So they have some mental and emotional struggles and challenges. Here, the frontline workers, they couldn't understand it easily. This program is an educational and orientational program to the frontline workers, to the professional, to the sponsors, volunteers, anybody who support the Syrian refugee. It was really helpful. For 3 years. We had this program, and now we are covering the whole refugees, not only Syrian, because we are now accepting refugees from other areas like in Africa, like in Haiti, Rohingya, and others. So most of the refugees has the same struggles, challenges during their journey till they reach here. Slide after, please. We have, as I said, we are supporting the refugees from childhood till seniority. So for children, we have this program, Learning Through Play. Learning Through Play, it develop the language skill, the social skills of the children who, especially who came from refugee camp. They have no idea about the life here, how to behave in schools, what's the appropriate language they have to use. Some of them never attend school. This program covers children from grade 1 till grade 8. It's really very helpful and very successful one. while the program after that is for youth. Slide after, please. It's for youth. We believe that newcomers today are leaders tomorrow. So it's a youth leadership program. It's really focusing on the youth and very, very successful program. Our workers, Basma, she has a bachelor degree in education. She focuses on youth, how to encourage them to enhance the leadership skills in them, and how to write resume, how to find a job. And many of them were successful in finding a job, even in a police, in another places. And some of them now merge in university level or in college, and they were really grateful to Basma, our workers, in this program. Other one, we have the seniors, diverse senior support services. This for all seniors, citizen, newcomers, refugee claimants, anybody are allowed to come here. Seniors in Canada are 65 and above, but for JFS, they are accepting 55 even, because many couples, the husband is 65, the wife is 57 or 58, younger than him. So we are accepting as a couple. I worked with them as a case management with Arab seniors. I enjoyed working with them. The goal of this program is to make the whole seniors integrate in this program, have some fun, have some education, some friendly visit between each other. Now is a telephone or Zoom visit, just to keep them away from some mental problems that the seniors face, especially the newcomer seniors, which is the isolation, depression, anxiety, and others. So we are trying to make them, what I say, feel that this country is really a good country. It's not like home country. Yes, I accept that, but make in each community that you are welcome in Canada. You have many people supporting you here. So this in senior support, we have offered many programs with many languages. Hebrew, the first one for sure, because it's Jewish family service. English, French, Russian, Arabic, Somali, Punjabi, Urdu, Kenya, Rwanda, Mandarin, and Cantonese. These are two Chinese language, the old and the new one. This program is serving all seniors, as I say. And then, yes, continue. We are coming to the biggest group or biggest department in JFS, which is the counseling department. About more than 65% of the workers are counselors in JFS. JFS counseling group is considered one of the biggest departments or groups in around Ottawa, especially for counseling children, youth, families, couples, relation, and now they added LGBT to it. And many services, especially for counseling, also offered in English, French, Russian, Arabic, Spanish, and Creole. From this counseling group, because it's paid, we offer a program which is a free walk-in counseling clinic. So anybody has citizen or newcomer, refugee claimant, anyone in Canada and have some struggles in emotion or struggles in life, for example, people when they have the bank statement with a lot of charges, they feel panic and afraid that something will happen. Go to walk-in clinic. It's a free session, one session free for 90 minutes. First hour, they will listen to you, and the 30 minutes, in the end, they will give you some solution or some opinion regarding your case. If your case are in need to be referred to the counseling clinic, to the counseling group, they will refer you, and there are some subsidized program can support you financially. If not, like for example, you are a refugee or you are a vulnerable newcomer, they will refer you to the program after that, please. This is the yes, this is the program I'm talking about. It's the RVN program. It's Refugee Vulnerable Newcomer. It's a free program offering you from 10 to 12 sessions. It's for refugees, for vulnerable newcomer. When I said vulnerable newcomer, it means a newcomer, for example, like I come as a skilled worker till first 10 years, arrived to Canada. and you have some struggles. So mainly women, children, or youth, they accept youth above 16. They can call by themselves and book an appointment. Below 16, they have to call through their parents or guardians. This program is free and will offer you 10 to 12 sessions, also in English, French, Arabic, Spanish, and Creole. Regarding the walk-in, slide before, please. I will mention something. We have 11 locations, 10 location plus JFS location. So we mentioned 10 locations like Southeast Ottawa Community Center, for example. This center, you have Arabic and English services. Others, for example, Family Service of Ottawa, they have English and French services. So you have to go to website and check which service and which day. First come, first serve. Whenever you arrive at 11, your name will be registered. The first one, you will be first one to be served. So after that, slide after. Some successful stories, yes. As I said, JFS is the warm hand. Whenever the newcomer arrives to front desk in JFS, we can serve him till the end. So one of the Syrian family arrived to Canada and their kids missed the school for 3 or 4 years. So one of the parents are joining us to find the settlement service. And then he mentioned that his daughter in the school was detained twice and then expelled. So immediately we call the school and the counselor, our counselor, called the school and asked about the problem. The school mentioned that blah, 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 this happened. So the counselor go to the school. I offer my program to the teachers and the staff there, especially the ELD class and ESL class staff. And they attended my workshop. They realized the gap between their values and culture and their Syrian values and culture. Then they understand why Syrians behave like that. That girl, she has a language barrier and she was bullied by some of the students there. So her action was aggressively physical. She used her fist, as she mentioned, like that. With the time, a group counseling group with the girl and other Syrian students, they mentioned to them what's going on. After a few months, this teenager progress in his school was fantastic. And now she's in college, I think, studying nursing. I'm really proud about this girl. She did a very, very good job. And you have to understand what's going on with those people who arrived to Canada. For any question, you can ask me, and that's it.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Lamia. That was fantastic. Excellent. So then the next we will hear from Maria. So Maria, I will go back to the slides. So at this point, I would introduce you for today, if you want to, and I will go back to the slideshow. There we go.
Excellent. Thank you, Olivia, for the invitation. And good afternoon, everyone. Nice to be here. So my name is Maria Teresa Garcia. I work at OSISO. I am the manager for the Multicultural Liaison Officer program, which is a settlement counselor at schools. You can pass. Yes, OSISOS is an organization that has been in Ottawa for a long time, more than 40 years now. We celebrated 2 years ago, the 40 years anniversary. The objective is to embrace diversity and building a community. This is our motto. You can pass. Our vision, of course, OSISO envisions Ottawa as an inclusive city in which all immigrants contribute their gifts, skills, values, and culture, strengthening and transforming our community life. Our mission is supports immigrants through the journey of making Canada their home by providing creative and responsive programs that are culturally and linguistically appropriate and building a community through mutual respect and partnerships, and fostering healthy and inclusive spaces for open dialogue and healing. We have many programs here in OCISO. I'm going to mention briefly all of them. Settlement and Integration Program. The Settlement and Integration Program assists immigrants and refugees through the provision of multilingual and multicultural services in order to facilitate their successful adaptation and integration process in Canada. We are located here at 959 Wellington in Ottawa, and all immigrants and refugees are welcome for all kinds of settlement issues. We have also the Community Economic Development Program, CED. This program delivers career mentoring, networking programs to support newcomers to obtain employment in the field, develop and understanding the Canadian workplace culture, build networks, develops strategies for employment maintenance and advancement within the Canadian workplace. So this is the department that assists newcomers with employment issues. The next is the counseling program. As also Lamia was mentioning, we are one of those agencies that deliver mental health services in Ottawa. OCISO's counseling program is also equipped to provide counseling services to immigrants and refugees in Ottawa. We offer clinical counseling to culturally diverse clients with migration and cultural related issues, and specialize in assisting survivors of war, torture, trauma, political persecution, and imprisonment. All these programs are running here in Wellington, 959 and 945 Wellington. We have another program that is LINK, this Language for Newcomers to Canada. This program is located at Bank Street. We offer free language instruction for newcomers to Canada. English language instruction is essential for newcomers to feel at home and be fully productive in their new land. Next is the youth program. OCISO programs are specifically designed to assist youth ages 13 to 24 with settlement and integration process. Through this process, youth gain the necessary skills to achieve their goals. They also develop a positive mindset to begin to overcome the challenges they may be facing so they can contribute to Canadian society. They offer their services at Bank Street and Huron and also at the schools. And the last program, this is the program that I manage, is called Multicultural Liaison Officer Program. This is a beautiful program comprised of 25 settlement counselors at schools. The technical name is SWIS, Settlement Workers in Schools, but we have a brand that we call MLO. You may have heard about them, MLO program. So this program is a partnership that we have with the Ottawa Carleton District School Board, which is the public school, and the Ottawa Catholic School Board. So we deliver settlement services in all English schools across Ottawa. Next. Also, we have a very different project. It's called Milo. Milo project is the Multicultural Inmate Liaison Officer project. With this program, we offer settlement and information and orientation to inmates who have immigrant background at the Ottawa Detention Center here in Ottawa. So this is a very important program. We have one person, and this is a partnership with the Ministry of Community Safety and Correctional Services. This is the Milo project. So settlement services in the detention center. Next one.
So Maria, that was the last slide for the section on who you represent in the programs. So then we'll go to our next question, if that's okay. So if people want to turn on their microphones, unfortunately, I can't really see myself and see you while I'm hitting present. So feel free to turn your microphones on. And then our last question, oh, sorry. Oh my gosh, I'm getting ahead of myself. Mustafizur will also be presenting himself, sorry about that, and his position. So there's no slides for that. So I'll stop presenting so we can see your lovely face. And sorry, so I'll mute myself. And thank you, Mustafizur. You can introduce yourself and then tell us about your position and how what you do supports newcomers.
Thank you, Olivia. Thanks to all the respectable panelists and all education partners. My name is Mustafizur Khan. I am a parent and the outgoing chair of the Parent Involvement Committee at the Ottawa Carleton District School Board. Parent Involvement Committee is not a different entity. It is an integral part of the Ottawa Carleton District School Board. So you may get wide details through visiting Ottawa Carleton District School Board's website. So I did not prepare any slides for Parent Involvement Committee. So I would like to share some important informations that may be helpful to all the parents and all the education partners. At first, I should say Canada is the best country around the world. I arrived in Canada in 2005 with a family of 4, and we got our dream citizenship on January 26th, 2010. So it's a big thing for us. We are proud of this. So now I would like to share what is Parent Involvement Committee and how does it work, how it is helping to the new immigrants, Canadians and all others. And not in Canada, I think many countries, they are getting benefit through visiting our website from our activities that we do. Parent Involvement Committee at the OCDSB, our Parent Involvement Committee, in short PIC, supports, encourages, and enhances parent engagement across the district in order to improve student achievement and well-being. Reference Ontario Regulation 612.00. Ottawa Carleton District School Board is hugely diverse and the largest school board in Eastern Ontario. So approximate 143 schools are enlisted and over 73,000 students are enrolled. So it's a big thing, big responsibility for all the education partners. The duties of Parent Involvement Committee include outreach to parents, recognizing the barriers of time, languages, recent immigration, socioeconomic status, newness to the system, and many other factors associated. Working collaboratively with the school board to ensure linkages between parents, the director of education, and trustees. Trustees are the resourceful public representative in public education. Developing strategies for enhancing parental engagement and outreach, holding district-wide meetings and encouraging inter-school communications, and participating in the promotion, development, and implementation of grant applications and projects funded under the Ministry of Education Parents Reaching Out program. So what is parent involvement? There are many ways parents make a difference in their children's success at school. Parents who talk with their children about their day at school, or who make sure there is a quiet place to do homework, or who serve on school councils, or who volunteer on school trips and many other activities are all examples of engaged parents. Current situation is different due to COVID-19 pandemic. We know that. PIC membership. PIC membership are chosen from our community and have a strong interest in and commitment to public education. Members must represent the views of a wide variety of parents. New members are appointed annually. Members are appointed for either a 1 or 2 year term. For a list of current members, please visit our website. Committee has 18 members. The majority of members must be parents. The membership includes the parents, community representatives, director of education or the designate, one trustee appointed by board of trustees. Additional OCDSB staff attend to support the committee. Only parent members and community representatives are voting members. PIC meeting. Everyone is welcome to attend PIC meetings. The committee meets at least 6 times per year, and the meetings are generally held on the second Wednesday of the month from 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. It is hosted by the district school board. So the amazing activities of what we do, I should mention there is the speaker series. It's the parents educational session and informative session. The PIC supports a parent learning by hosting presentations on topic of interest to parents. Some examples. Recently, on October 14th, we had an opportunity to listen to Dr. Viraiches, Medical Officer of Health, Ottawa Public Health. Parents listen the presentations and they had the opportunity to raise their concerns, the issues about the children's learning and their own situations because of the depression due to COVID-19 pandemic. So it was an amazing learning opportunities, and there are several learning sessions also held time to time. So whatever is ongoing or forthcoming, if you visit the website, you will get all the necessary informations. We have a very good collaborative approach with education partners and other advisory committees, such as Advisory Committee on Equity, Advisory Committee on Special Education, Advisory Committee of Indigenous Education, Advisory Committee on Arts, and above all, we are communicated with the school councils also, who are supporting to the local school management and their operational system to support children's learning and well-being. Our prior focus with STEM education. STEM stands for science, technology, engineering, math, and it is also included with arts. So all these things together we are focusing, and our prior focus, people with special needs, low income, vulnerable communities, indigenous communities, newcomers, refugees, respecting various cultures, their background, and the languages. Our school board is providing over 10 languages, all the resource materials, both printed and online. So I would request you to visit Ottawa Carleton District School Board visit to get access to all the resources available. Thank you very much.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Mustafizur. So lastly, I'm just mindful of time. We're getting to the hour mark here. So our last question, what I'll ask is that we kind of leave with sending you off thinking in terms of how you would like to respond to the fourth question. So again, we're trying to limit everyone's first speaking point to around 3 minutes. So we can, when you listen back and record the time to see how long you spoke today, you can adjust as needed. And then the fourth question here will be open to each of you, and the idea is to respond within a minute or two if possible. So the final question is, in your opinion, what are the opportunities, the assets, and some of the challenges associated with welcoming newcomers to Canada? So think about how you would like to respond to this final question in about 2 minutes or so. And so with that, and so I've added your slides here. So I've already shared this slideshow with all of you. And so along with the recording and the slideshow, feel free to make adjustments as needed. I'll give you editing powers to this slideshow. So if you want to tweak your slides or simplify things, by all means, you can do so. And then I will touch base with Sterling to see when he is available to touch base with me. And then we can schedule, when we all feel ready, the official day to record it for real. No longer a dress rehearsal. And then we can discuss how we'd like to disseminate it and share it more broadly. So I really appreciate all of your time today and all the work that you've put into preparing for this webinar. Again, it's a rare opportunity for a teacher to get to gather a series, as panelists like yourselves and provide your expertise to other teachers, but also to other students down the road. So thank you so much for your time today. Like I said, I'll follow this up with the recording and the slides. And then we can go back and forth in the meantime if you would like some feedback or if you have any questions for me. So with that, thank you all so much today, and I hope that you have a lovely rest of your afternoon, and look for my email shortly.
Okay. Bye. Nice to meet you all.
Thank you, everybody. Nice to meet you.
Thank
All the
you.
best.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.